Yo, yo, yo. Got the early bird today. Nice and refreshing. We got a nice fresh page here. Always feels good. Let's go ahead and jam out. Wait for everybody to get in here, shall we? Why is that there? Why the hell will that not go away? Alright, anyways. Here we are, baby. Yo. What's up, man? Ivy, what's good? Pam, what's up? I just tuned this guitar to the right tuning, so making sure that we are still good to go. What's up, Ivy? I don't know if I've ever seen you in here before. Alright, I think we're good. Think we're good. Yeah, I got Shrek chilling here on the mic stand. I don't even remember where I got it from. I am a bit out of tune, though. I don't know. Usually, when you tune to a different tuning, it takes the guitar a while. Who's Micah? Okay, we should be good now. Okay. Guitar tone isn't bad for this guitar in this tuning. There's a couple little things that I want to switch, but the main thing is I want to get this thing rock solid in tune. You feel me? So let's make sure that we do that. Then we can keep riffing out, coming up with a riff for today. Anybody new here, we are writing a song live with the chat. So we're going to get that started here in a minute. Just letting things roll in, letting everybody get here. How's everybody's day been? I know it's a couple hours earlier than I usually start, but, you know, for the most part, most of the day has happened. How's everybody doing? Is that a new guitar, Cody? No, actually, this is the one that always sits behind me. I just decided to use a different guitar today because we're going to a lower tuning. I have very many guitars. I very much have a lot of guitars, is what I meant to say. I have a lot of guitars, but when it comes to the streaming stuff, it's a lot easier to just like figure out what works really well and stick with that. Thank you for noticing. It is the one that usually sits right here, Pam. Micah, what's up? Yo, Cody, I got a nylon string to change strings and clean up my guitar, but I think that I'm going to try to make a short about that, but no comments. What do you think about it? How do I do it? So you're saying that you're going to do a tutorial video on how to change nylon strings on, I'm assuming, a classical style acoustic guitar, correct? Did I nail that? The biggest thing that a lot of people that keeps people watching a video, I've noticed, especially a tutorial video, is make sure that whatever you're saying in the video, you make sure that you have on the screen. So use, when you post it, use the auto detect voice thing. Learn how to edit that in the YouTube auto commentary thing that they have. It is an option. And make sure to also add in whatever type of little things in the background. So let's say you give an instruction, but you notice, damn it, I did this video, but there's a thing or two, like a little thing here that I meant to say, but I didn't say it. Make sure that you don't leave it out, just put it in text on the screen. So basically make as much visual stuff as you can on the screen. No tutorial, but yes. Nice skeleton, buddy. Thank you. I got Big Skelly over here too. Bro, that sounded kind of cool. That was such a weird noise. It was rubbing against my phone's charger. I got the other skull here too. I put some fake teeth on him so he looks ridiculous. You know what I mean? I actually found this one, and I'm pretty sure somebody made this. I found it in an antique shop. I love skulls, but I know... damn it. I love skulls, but can somebody... Look, I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to tell me why you think skulls... why I don't have a lot of skull type things. Can you guys guess? Because it's super obvious. Like, what type of people or what type of things usually have skulls on them? Okay. So, usually skull related stuff is so cheesy, man. So cheesy. It's like I don't even know. It's like most Five Finger Death Punch audience member shirts. You know what I mean? It looks like an old Ed Hardy shirt. Like, that's what skulls remind me of. Or an old Walmart tee or something. You know what I mean? Like, they have that cheesy feel kind of to it. It's been overdone. Isham, what's up? Get ready to start playing here in a minute. Most obvious thing, make sure it's very clear. So it's not a tutorial, so then what are you doing? trying to come up with like some tongue twistery type of guitar riff for this one. Let's find some more drums that work with that, huh? Shall we? You know, if I had to, I'd say it's probably gonna be a lot of double bass, like halftime or fast double bass stuff. But I say we break the rules and we add in a D beat. Maybe D beat. Maybe it'll be more of a skank beat here. I don't know. Let's find out. Also, I do feel like it should be a little faster. What do you guys think? I feel like it should be slightly faster. Let's go 190 BPM. That feels better already. That's the classics. That's the standards. I could make a million songs with just 0, 1, and 3 and 4. And then he says, yep. I'm trying to actually get away from that. That's why I'm with this riff. I'm sort of up here, and then I'm actually going to 3 and 5 and then 6. 3, 5, 6 on E, A, and D. So I'm sort of working on these 3 strings the most. Raphael, what's going on, man? But yeah, Zarnovic, that's it. Alright, let's try this at 190 BPM. No, it's a scale for metal. That's what I'm saying, dude. That's like the standard, let's make a heavy hardcore song, A fan of metal, you're saying? That is code for I love you, Czar. I'm so confused, bro. Yeah, I figured when you said 0, 0, 1, 3, 4, I mean, we're sitting here playing metal, so I'm like 0, 1, 3, 4. That's classic hardcore. Almost any hardcore song you listen to is going to take full advantage of the 0, 1, the 3, and the 4. And then, depending if it's more like punk adjacent hardcore stuff. Maybe it has more of that punk feel to it. Like a Backtrack or something. They start up where the like 3 and 4, but since I'm in drop B, it'd be more like up here. I got you. I got you, Pam. Carl. I think old Carl's going to be heading in here in a minute. Or no, wait, that's Bean. He's got one of his toys in his mouth. I don't know why. He's the only cat I've ever met that does that. But what he does is he'll come up the stairs, and they have like a bed. So the way that our stairs are in our house is they go up, and then there's the flat portion, and then it turns and goes up, and then you're upstairs, and here's the hallway, right? So they're cat beds on the flat part. He always has to grab a toy from there, his favorite ones. He'll put it in his mouth, and then like he just does these insane noises, like weird one. Like he'll do the meows, but he'll start making some weird ones and getting loud with it, and throw the toy and get all weird about it. Why will this not let me change the tempo? This is getting on my nerves. Like, usually you can just double click this, boom, and you can change it. For some reason, it does not want to let me do that. Does anybody know how I can fix this? Or why it's doing this? Do I need to update Easy Drummer? Well, it's not just that, Pam, because it's every single night when we lay down. It doesn't matter what time we lay down at night. He'll always go to the little bed at the bottom, grab some toys, bring them up to the hallway, and then he goes and lays down. And he doesn't bring them to you. It's like his toys. That's his way of playing. I don't know. It's weird. It's funny. All right, so we need some more drums. Hi, Bean. Well, look, speak to the devil. Good boy. Alright, this one is pretty good. I like this one. I can definitely use this for what we're playing here. Let's go to skank with double bass. I don't think we need that right now. Let's go to skank classic. Ooh, what if we combined those two things there? Like, we make that into a riff somehow? Like, we could easily try and turn that into a riff. Can the cat do vocals? Oh, yeah. And they'll definitely sound better than me. Oh, sorry, there are other drums playing on top of that. Let's actually loop this real quick and see if we can come up with something cool, because I like mixing these drums together right here. That actually worked out really well. Let me think here. We're getting close. All right. So that could definitely be something cool right there. Are you on the side that schools need to have uniforms or not? Hell nah, bro. Yesterday's stream, so we finished the song, and it's okay. Not accounting for vocals, I would say the song is 95% of the way completed. Everything is there. It's just there's things that I don't want to necessarily input until there's a vocalist and we say, boom, this is how it should go on this part. Because stuff in songs will tend to change or be added whenever you are whenever you introduce the vocalist. So that's the goal. Other than that, it's definitely like there's a song. It's just the way that it ends and the way that certain things go and transition into. I want to be, picked up by potentially Hayden, who is probably going to do the vocals. I don't think that that's a song that is really what I would want to do vocals to, but maybe. Some school districts have them. You know what's weird, though, is at least where I live, the only schools that have dress codes like that, where it's uniforms, is, I will say this, though. It would probably stop people from talking so much smack to one another. If every school had to, nobody would be able to talk about anybody's clothes. Right. Well, if it was a school policy, I'm sure that just like how they have it with lunch and stuff set up every day, if there were people that were in a lower tax bracket, their parents are, they would be able to sign up and get the uniform sent to them, and stuff like that. Either way, I think you should be able to wear whatever the fuck you want. So I only accidentally cussed twice yesterday while we were streaming on TikTok. Didn't hit the vape in front of the camera and still got banned. So I have to go pick up my uniform today, and yes, it's one of the main reasons that they added uniforms to the school. They added it? It's not a private school? Is it a private school? Andrew, what's up, man? Yeah, bro, they're so cheaper. Yeah, see what they're hiding from you. Everyone's hiding something. That's all I'll say. All right. I want to add just like a simple. High equals band mother. I'll I'll figure out what this is supposed to be here. Who do we got? Tenchuk! Goated. Thank you, brother, for the sub. Well, it is technically tuned to what a baritone would be. Or no, technically not, because a baritone is B standard. What's your dream? Fucking Andrew. G sharp, you say? A sharp, G sharp, right there. And have all the equipment. Well, my brother, I truly never thought that I would end up having all the stuff I do. It has taken me years and years to accumulate all of the things that I have. A lot of hard work, a lot of wanting to off myself. It's taken a lot to get what I have. So if you want to get there, you just gotta keep grinding, man. It is a grind. Sometimes it's even harder for certain people in certain situations. I believe in you. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm in love with the riff, or I don't know if I want the tuning or if I want the riff. But one of them is not hitting right with me right now. Like, it was hitting really good last night, and it's just not feeling the same today. Alright, let's start it from the drums here, okay? Let's try and remember what I did last night. I put a crappy recording before we got off. Okay, so we are playing the same thing. So I don't know. It's not hitting the same. I am using Reaper, and technically, you can just use Reaper for free. You can say you're still evaluating. Tanchuk, I don't know how to say your name, so I'm just gonna call you Tan. Okay, yo Tan. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have a video called budget recording setup 2024. I think it was 2024 or 2025. I can't remember if it's 2024 or 2025, but the same rules apply, and those same tools would still be great. For 500 USD or lower, depending on what you have. This is also assuming that you have a laptop or a computer of some sort. If you have a laptop or a computer, The only things you will actually have to buy to start is to make sure, oh, well, laptop and, a guitar and something to plug it in with. Other than that, you will need an interface, monitors. I recommend the monitors, but if you can't, then you can buy headphones, and then you will need guitar plug-in, which is free. But those two things are the only two things that you will technically need to start, is an interface and the monitors or headphones. Good headphones, not AirPods. Have something, start off decent. If you can buy those two things, which you can for very cheap, then you'll be good to go. That can get you started. There's so much free stuff out there, good free stuff, which I list in the video. But I always tell people, and feel free to join the Discord and shoot me a message, okay? Shoot me a message on Discord, and I can get you started. You tell me your budget, I will get you set up, and I'm sure that there's somebody within the Discord or even in the chat right now that would be more than happy to help you. And as far as learning Reaper, the basics, there are so many amazing YouTubers out there that have dedicated their lives / their whole YouTube careers on showing you how to do YouTube stuff. Reaper Mania, the Reaper blog, those are like the big two, and there's a bunch of other YouTubers that use Reaper. But seriously, if I won't go on and on about it, but if you are interested, join the Discord, watch that video. But literally, as of, before inflation, which hasn't hit too hard on some of the things that we use in the music industry, really, but before all of those things happen, right before, the election and all that bullshit. So the video was before that, so 2024. You could get monitors, monitor stands, an interface, the drums, the drum plugins, a bass plugin, guitar plugin, a desk. I'm missing a few other things. Cables for the back. There's one other thing I'm missing, but those are like the 8 to 9 things that you would need to start just writing music. Oh, and the DAW. So yeah, there's 10 things. Oh, he said hi. We got a band Metalhead. Metalhead, yo, bro. I don't know, man. Have you ever listened to Eminem? Of course, bro. Cali, yeah, the Calis are great. They really are. And I'll be honest with you. I have monitors that are technically cheaper and aren't even as good as it. I've fine-tuned my ears to these monitors. I have two pairs. I have the old gen and the new gen of the PreSonus. What are these ones? I can't remember. They're the cheaper PreSonuses. They're about $120 for the pair. They are powered. They have a 1-inch tweeter, which usually you don't get with smaller monitors, and they do have simple EQ on the back and all that stuff. With that said, though, man, like, look up, how to set the speakers up. It's a triangle. You want 5 feet apart. It depends on your space, how big it is, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, there are so many options out there for you to really get started with audio production. And I know it's a lot and it's really scary, but I promise you, if you just dive in and get it all over with, within a month, you're going to have your a few tracks, and you're learning and how to do this and that. And you're going to be like, damn, like, I wished that I would have been able to do this, and now I can do it. Now that you found the channel, you have all of us in here. We got your back. Join the Discord, join the lives, and feel free to ask a question when you need help. So, yeah. But for now, let's get back to me trying to get fall in love with this riff again. I don't know if it's the tuning or what it is, but I'm not as in love with it as I was. Still a good riff, but I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know. Does that make sense? Anyways. Room acoustic sound treatment is a must. To a point. Don't stress yourself on it, because that rabbit hole, Andrew is right, but we're talking like if you are seriously like getting some, like if you're really trying to make and like produce really great music. To start, room treatment you can make yourself, but that stuff is so expensive. I don't even technically have room treatment, or I've never actually used it. I mean, my setup downstairs was like the worst possible way that you could be recording, and I've been making amazing songs, amazing sounding songs. At least, I mean, the songs, maybe they're great. I don't know. I can't be the judge of that, but they sound good, tonally, and just all together. So, anyways, sound treatment's important, but knowing your speakers, knowing what's tricking your ear in a room, and all that stuff, you'll learn along the way, man. Ah. T, what's up? Yeah, yesterday when you left, we pretty much got off. It was time to get off. No, my favorite guitar is my Fender Ultralux with the Floyd, but I don't really use it on the streams because I can't, detune it because it has a Floyd. So yeah, that's true too. Having a nice chair and some AC, like Pam said, definitely helps. Billy the Kid, hey bro, love the ink. Thanks, man. I just saw your message. Sorry about that. I'm just reading up as I go. This is a Solar guitar, Ola England's brand, and they all, unless it's a signature model, come with the Duncan Solars. Tell me it wouldn't be cool. Okay, so like we come out of that one part, we would go into that, and then do that riff over top of it. Also, by the way, we got to go in here. Got to get rid of this. And this one. And we need to put in the Gojira plugin here. I'm gonna try and do a quick example of this to see if it works for me. That needs turned off, that needs turned off. That's good, that's good. Okay, so I need to record this first part here, all right? And then have in the background will be the guitar that's doing so it'll be the simple one. Keep it real simple. And then from there, we're going to add in a guitar maybe in the background that's doing just kind of doing some percussive stuff over top. Okay, so we're going to try that out. And I don't know if it should be one left and then the other one on the right, or maybe we'll have one in the middle that's sort of doing that and like, I don't know, splice it up. So here, let's just record a simple track real quick. Okay, nice and simple. And then I want to see if it works where we can make the right do that. Or if it needs to be in the middle. Oh, wait. I messed it up. Also, does that one sound lower than the other one? Am I tripping? Alright, we're good. Alright, this part could be cool. This could bring me back into liking the riff. I ain't getting rid of nobody. I think that's what y'all are talking about. Yeah, those are just monitors, Tanchuk. Those are just monitors, so you'll need at least a DAW and an interface to before you get to that point. So maybe it should be like there's a guitar in the background that is doing that, sort of like how I do the octaves, kind of tuck them. They're in the middle, but they kind of sound like they're forced in the back. So we could like do that with a guitar there. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's record another version of that. All right, I'm gonna add an EQ in here now. Where are you at? There we are. I know that we're gonna need a high pass at least at 150 to 200 there to sort of tuck it. So let's start at 200. See if that helps. Now let's get rid of that. We'll throw this here. Okay, let's get that volume down. Too low. Audio interface is my go-to. Your audio interface is what you plug your instruments into. Like I said, I do have a video on my channel, and it will literally give you everything paid, and I give you free and paid stuff. So I give you the worse option and the better option in most cases within the video. So that way you have the option to be able to make the choice what you want to spend your money on. Because just getting into it to be able to use what I'm using right now with Easy Drummer, you have to buy Easy Drummer, then you would have to buy this specific drum kit. That's not including the grooves. Then you would need this plugin, you would need the DAW, you would need the interface, and for the bass I use the the Parallax X. So yeah, and that's just what I'm using on this song right now. Yeah, it basically is like this. So MIDI it looks like this, okay? Your DAW will come with a MIDI piano roll like this, a little piano on the side. And each one of these belongs to your kick, your snare, a certain part of the drum kit. And when you want to create a track on here, you can actually pencil them in yourself. You can pencil these in yourself and make your own drum beat. But to make it a lot easier, you can have this in your drum software, which Easy Drummer is what I suggest. If you go with something else, you're probably going to have a lot harder time. This is the best one to really start with. You go with this, and you can literally click the groove. I can listen. I can click it and drag it over to my Easy Drummer and have it on the track at the tempo of the track. So like I said, there is a lot to learn, but there are also a lot of videos. So, you know, maybe I need to make a video on after you buy all your stuff. Now you have your stuff, what do you do, right? So maybe I should make a video on something like that. I think a lot of people are getting into it now. Yeah, it's a digital audio workstation. Just like in editing software for video, you have your DAW, which is what you guys see me working in right now, which is Reaper. Allows me to create the tracks and everything else for us to use. And the plugins are the things that are linked with it that allow me to record the sounds into it. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear that guitar that I have in the middle there. Yeah, for sure. Easy Drummer is definitely hands down the best. A lot of third party um, MIDI drums are good, but they have their own way of setup. And Easy Drummer makes it so that when you download it, everything is within its own thing. It's super simple to get started, and just knowing how to put it into a session, it does take a little bit of learning. It is a big learning curve. It's not you know Yeah, I had longer hair. I cut it all off. It got real long. The thing is my hair is so damn thick. I got sick of, it didn't look like long and luxurious. It was like, it moved in one conglomerate. I hated it. I wanted it to work because I've had like long-ish hair my whole life. Just kind of always had long hair. I've had a couple short hairstyles, but I've always just like, even when I get short hairstyle, I just immediately grow it back. Yeah, all right. Andrew's saying it's tucked too far back. I mean, I can agree with that. But I also don't know if that's how I want to do it. Like, do we want to just have one guitar on one side doing that, or have that one in the middle, like it's a lead track kind of playing in the background? Either way, that's an idea. I'll record that over top. We'll throw it down there, and we'll get moving um, with the other stuff. All right, nice little demo idea there. Okay. Okay. All right, so that's a little idea for us to have later in the song. The link to my Patreon is in where all my links are on YouTube. And it should be in the description of the video. So I appreciate it. Thank you. I do have the music. Everybody's been talking about it. I need to I need to definitely put it somewhere. It just, to me, feels weird putting music out like Spotify, iTunes when there's no vocals to it, which is why I have the Patreon. Um, I don't know. It just feels weird. But yeah, I do need to. Maybe I'll work on that tonight. Should I do that tonight? Discord's not in the just if you want to find it, just it should be linked in my YouTube. Matter of fact, let me make sure that that's on there for you guys, okay? I'm going to it now. All right, there's the link.
Community is the way we find.
All right, here we go. All right, so Patreon is actually not in the YouTube one. I don't know. Hold on. That's weird. I don't know why it's not there. Hold on. Let me add it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add my Patreon link to my channel so you guys will be able to see that. I cannot add anything to description as I'm streaming. So, yeah. I'm adding a link now. It might not work. It says it wants the URL, but I copied the link. Let me copy it the way that I know will work. I think it should work that way, but YouTube's weird with that stuff sometimes. So let me double check that, and I'll make sure that it's added there. And there are songs on the premium, and there are songs that we've done that are on there for free. The thing is now what I want to start doing is posting the songs for free, and then being able to have the songs with me showing the riff, so a video showing how to play the riff, regular speed, slow speed for each part of the song, and then you guys can figure it out. Tabbing is gonna definitely be a bitch. I need to figure that out. I know that people will probably want that, so I gotta figure that out. I hate tabbing stuff. There we go. Publish. Okay, so it should now be on there. There is PayPal, Instagram, Discord, TikTok, Twitch, and Patreon. There we go. Let me make sure it brings us to the right place. Boom. It brings you there. Awesome. Trying to get me to do what? So you technically in YouTube chat, it will not let you put links in the chat. Yeah, of course, man. There's, like I said, there's free stuff and there's the paid stuff. I want to be able to take everything and put it there. The drum tracks are separate, so you can use the drums that are from the song and make your own riff, or you can, just jam the song. You can also try and learn it, but that's why I want to be able to bring the video and post a video of the riff, so that way there's more to it. I got discouraged using it. I got really discouraged with the Patreon because I'm like, the YouTube was starting to go really well for a minute, and then a bunch of crap happened, and the numbers dropped, and I just kind of lost the motivation to put all that work in because I was putting a lot of time, pretty much any free time I have or had, I either think about or am doing something for the YouTube channel. Like, it is always on my mind, and I'm always constantly thinking about what I can do, and I'm always trying to do something. It is stressful, and sometimes it does, get a little discouraging when the numbers aren't there. It's like I'm going to spend hours upon hours upon hours to get maybe one person that might want to learn one of the guitar riffs or something. And I don't know. It just is a little discouraging sometimes. And maybe I should just say fuck it and put everything on Spotify, but eventually the songs will get used for something, a lot of them anyways. Honestly, with the amount of stuff that we've put on here, we could probably have had like 5 bands by now. Andrew, I've already told you, man, I've been wanting to collaborate with you for a while. I'm down to collaborate for sure, man. I like that. I like that. So let's play with the drums. to what we have and try and start piecing some of this together, okay? You don't even got to send me a raw signal, man. Just download Fluff's plugin for free. It's a good one. I don't know if I ever downloaded it. I don't ever use it because I have stuff that I prefer. But it's ML Sound Lab. ML Sound Lab makes pretty good stuff. I would not say that it's exactly as top tier, in my opinion, with the guitar tones, but ML Sound Lab makes pretty good shit, and they do have the free stuff. Yeah, it's the amped plugins. And where is it? And I think that there's the free, and it got an update too. It got it. Yeah, it got an update, I believe. Where the hell is it? Because I do know that, I mean, you guys know Riffs, Beards, and Gear, right? Fluff, his channel. I actually bought this one, the flagship with all the Friedman amps, and it just does not sound good. I just do not like it. Okay, they have artists, but there's nothing there. That's so weird. Yeah, I don't know where the hell it's at now, but I do know that you can get it for free. Anyways, it's a good one. Highly recommend it for... Oh, right here. Wait. Amp groups Fluff. Okay, so... Oh, there's the free amp here. Yeah, so you can get the free amp. If you want all of them, you gotta buy it. But there is the free one. How many other free ones? I didn't see the actual free knob there. Hold on. I don't think any other ones are free. Yeah, there's no others that are free. It's just that one. Oh, no, wait. There is a... Oh, that's right. That's right. So there's the 2.0. Okay, there's the 2.0 that has a free one in it as well. Anyways, yeah. That's the one that I always recommend to people. Besides STL Tones, it's not Gemini, it's the STL Tones. Shit, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a good one. And you can change the IRs and everything in it really easy. You know, I'm not big on the ML Sound Lab stuff. At least I don't get what I want out of the ones that I've bought. I've tried the Stevie T, I've tried Fluffs, and I also bought the flagship set, and I just didn't like it that much. Okay, let's try and double track this riff. We have the idea for it. Let's solidify it real quick, and then let's try and come up with our main riff, okay? That's where I need to start here. I think it'll help me out with wanting to go further with this riff. What's the fate with the date with Skelly? I just did it as a joke, but basically, you know, if somebody gets a membership, I want them to be able to reach out, which is why I have the Discord. But like I said, the memberships are never really up there, and the numbers of the channel, I wouldn't say the numbers dropped, but the traffic in the channel dropped, so I stopped keeping up with like specific things because it wasn't as ramped up as it was getting. It just sort of dropped, which sucked. Partially my fault. But with that said, just kind of a joke, but at the same time it was like a one-on-one. If you had any questions or needed anything, it wasn't like just relying on if I can get to you on Discord or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I would actually call you, we'll sit down and figure out whatever the hell you got to figure out, stuff like that, if you have that membership. So that was like part of my part of my deal with it. But date with Skelly. Who wouldn't want to date with Skelly? All right, let's try double track this. All right, let's check that tuning, double track it, and see how massive it sounds. See if it's good enough where I want to keep going with it. I do, but I don't. I feel like that's one of the problems I have, honestly, is you write so many songs that eventually you just go, man, it's all trash. I suck. I should just give up. Like I don't know, man. All right, here we go. Okay, let's try it. Same with Joey. Is it? Oh shit. Who is it? It's the I don't know. All the JST stuff, like their IR packs, I didn't like any of those. They're tailored specifically to like aim towards the type of stuff that they're doing, and I think Joey is really is Skelly single? Yeah. Yeah, Skelly does have a brother though over here. Big Skull. That's Skelly's bro. Just made him a dentist appointment. Yeah, but that's the whole point though, Andrew, is like, the whole most of the tonality of a plugin is, for the most part, is coming from the speakers, and your amp is sort of acting as a way to distort and equalize the signal coming from the guitar, and then the tonality of that is what's pushed out through the speakers. So in my opinion, if you have bad IR selection, then it just I don't feel like it helps whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, you could probably take those amps. I mean, you could probably take most of any amps, put it through the IR section of a good one, and it'll sound good. The problem with doing that though is mixing and matching with certain brands. It does sort of uh, it gets a little weird sometimes. Oh, I just remembered some other plugins that I've bought that I don't have downloaded on here. I need to do that one. I'm recording that one, that little track there. I'm gonna throw up here because this did not turn out right there. Yep, there we go. Now you can't even tell. Glue items, bing bang bong. Bing bang bong. Bing bang bong. Ooh, we should have the guitars do different stuff. That would be sick. Okay. Oh. Yo, that's gonna sound cool. I'm not sure. I want to add like a weird like a different harmony there at the end. I don't know if that's the one I want though. I'm gonna Okay, so that's what I'm originally playing there. I didn't even remember what I was playing there, but that's the reason. That's how you know we're coming up with it raw dog, baby. Fuck. Damn. So much easier to just flow with that rather than actually trying to play. Okay. So that sounds cool. We can keep that for now. And then this part. Oh, that's right, that's right. Couple different ideas there. Want to record that one. Because I do like that one, but it needs to be at a specific part of the song. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be at the right part of the song. Penny, what's up? Sorry, on my screen, you and Metalhead's names are both green. So it was hard to differentiate. I've been good. How are you? Been good. Definitely. I'm going to bust some ass on some content this week. Need to remain consistent, which I've been doing better with streaming. I'm doing better with it. It's just hard with a full-time job, man. It's a pain in the arse. That felt clean. Ian, what's up, man? Oh, you're a fucking animal. Very dope. Thank you, man. You know, honestly, that's what I needed to hear right now, because I'll be honest with you. I feel like this riff sucks, and I don't know why. There's a part of me that's like, no, it's good, but, like, I don't know. I'm just having one of those days with the riff. You know, last night before we hopped off, we were coming up with a riff. We ended up with this one, and I was like, yo, this is so good. And then I started playing it today, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. So thank you very much, man. I do appreciate you, brother. Dude, thank you so much, man. I think we've had an Ian here before. I don't remember if I don't know if I remember the last name though. I don't know if you're new here or not, man. But yeah, we basically write songs live on the spot with you guys, with your help. Any suggestions are great. Feel free to stick around. I'll be here for a little bit. Hit that subscribe button if you like what you see, like what you hear, man. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you, man. This is actually what I'm doing here. This is like part of I'm going to probably use this after or before whatever the like hook part is, cuz I'm almost like thinking this, if it was in a lower tuning, it would almost have that like certain parts of it with the picking kind of reminds me of like Lamb of God, Gojira, you know, bands like that. so I went. Let's go. Ooh, what if I did like a... Machine Head, that's... Dude, thank you. I was actually thinking with the... Doesn't it remind you of the... Or to make it sound better. I think it's actually in C, though. So technically we'd have to raise up the tuning like this. I don't know. I haven't listened to that song in forever. But yeah, it does give that kind of Machine Head vibe, yeah. I like tasteful false chords, that's for sure. If you can add them in there tastefully, because it's one of those things like a blast beat in a song. Too much blast beat is just too much. I don't get people that are obsessed with blast beats. It just gets on my nerves after a while. Like, come on, man. Like, at least with a D beat or a skank beat, you're getting so much in between there. But usually with a blast beat, you're just getting like bullshit guitar riff. 90% of the time. All right, let's put that back and let's go and record this. So let's record a right part to that. I feel like that was kind of sloppy a little bit. Let me check it. That's not bad. Especially this last part here. I pretty much did the same thing right here with the jung jung. I mean, that is like dead on. Holy crap, that is like really close. I just separately recorded this, and look how fucking close this is right here. Look at this. Look at these carrots, bro. That is a matching pair of carrots if I've ever seen one. Almost. I mean, as far as this type of shit goes, yeah. As far as playing at 190 BPM with this riff, I mean, that first try, that's damn near perfect right there. One more again. One more again. Let's get it. The heavier the better. I'm ready to get a neck tat. America. Yeah. What's up, Riccolo? How do you guys feel about the debate with the lower tuning, the heavier the song is? Because I don't agree with that, man. I've written some songs in standard and half step that go freaking crazy. So I don't know. Like, most people think the lower the tuning, the heavier. And like, the lower, yeah, but heavy, I don't think heaviness is defined by the lower tuning. I think so many people associate it anymore with so many bands. It's freaking weird, honestly. Like, you know, you gotta be tuned down to like fucking this to be considered heavy. Too low for me, man. Too low for me. Always, man. Well, I can't say that I stick true to metal because actually it's been a while since we've wrote a pop punk song, and I really kind of want to write a pop punk song. So I think maybe after this one we're going to try and go for like maybe a skate punk, pop punk type of song and come up with like a sick riff that goes over top of it. So, yeah. We're going to do that next probably. But I do love my metal. But I can also write a catchy pop punk song. That's for sure. I love writing skate punk because it's just like there's so much you can do with the guitar riffs, just because of the style that it is. Like, you can add like a hint of heaviness to it a little bit and still have it be, very skate punk-esque. Very cool genre. All right. I think honestly something that could be cool is like bringing a second person on the channel. I'd have to get a different interface for that though, because I've always stayed true to just like a 2 input. Well, no, technically I think the back I can put the mic in the back and then have a second guitar there. I think I could do it with what I have. Either way, I think it would be cool to have this concept, but bring like another awesome riff writer, and we just sit here and freaking get something dope put out. That would be awesome. It took me a long time to acquire this setup. It's very official now because I built a second PC. So I have one downstairs, one upstairs. You know, monitors. I got the two computer monitors. So you guys are over here. The other monitors right here. Um, the freaking amps and everything. Eventually, if the YouTube channel is able to take off, my plan will be to part ways with my house and bring the setup to a place where I can go and do my live streams or content, and then be able to have my drums there, have the amps set up, so if I really want to, I can use my real amps and use those for the lives and be able to, do it that way and make it even more official, which would be sweet. Like, I've been wanting to be able to use play drums and like actually write my own drums to the songs, but I can't do that because I don't have a way of setting it up. So one thing I've thought, or well, considered, was getting an e-kit. And since I don't need it to be like the best of the best, probably dropping like 700 to like a grand on one, and getting a decent one that is still like okay, double bass pedal, just the basics of it, routing everything up and making it sound sick, and then I can actually play drums and guitar, and we'll write a song with like all the instruments. Okay. So far we have good. I almost feel like we could do a skank beat with that there, right? Let's find a skank beat real quick. Like, we could go into that, or even like a halftime carpet roll. Let's see what that sounds like. And then right there, bah, 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 we'll go in with the skank beat there. Setup is key, finding time to enjoy yourself. Well, the way I see it is before you can get to a point, I suppose, where you do what I do, you should probably be able to find a way to be able to manage your time. Because honestly, like, so many of my friends, they don't know how to manage their time around the things that they have going on, and they have less, responsibilities than I do. They don't own a home, they don't have a kid to worry about, they don't have much responsibility besides a few bills, and no real like loyalty towards anything besides like a few bills. So, you know, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That would honestly make it easier if you were trying to do what I'm trying to do. But you know, it's like I feel like when you have that freedom, it's way easier to waste it than when you have some type of responsibilities, because you know what you're missing out on whenever you don't have the time to do something. You have nothing but that time in between to be like, oh man, I wish I was doing this right now. Okay, now we'll add this in there. We'll see if this even works. I don't know if this will actually work. We'll see how this works. Yeah, that. Blech. Welcome back, Andrew. Yeah, well, also Riccolo, I was going over it with somebody else earlier about how there's so much stuff out there. Like, you don't need to go to a studio to record your riffs and stuff anymore. Like, or use a tape recorder or your phone or whatever. Like, you can actually just buy your stuff instead of the stuff you would save up for. Like, you can just to like on a studio time to pay someone else to not care about what you're doing, you could learn it yourself and do it yourself. Like, I was going over it with another guy, told him to join the Discord if he had any questions, but like, I made a video on all the stuff you would need for under $500, and that includes a desk, monitor stands, the interface, plugins, etc., etc. So, there's definitely a way to go about it, for sure. I mean, the way I see it is, if you're in a spot that you couldn't save up $500 for your passion, then at least if you live in the U.S., that is, if you can't find a way to save up $500 for your passion, then you should probably be worrying about a way to be able to, So that's just the way I see it, at least. Especially if you play guitar. I mean, most people spend about that or a little bit more. Yeah, you can YouTube pretty much everything, but you can't. You still have to make sure, um, with plugins and stuff. You could find free stuff. There are like cracked versions, but all those websites are sketchy as hell. I've never actually gotten a cracked version of anything. And sometimes I tell some people that, and they're like, "What? You paid for this, or this?" And I'm like, "Yep, I did." And I get updates, and it's good for life. So, you know, I've thought about it, but I don't even know how to go about it, and I'm not risking my computer safety for a plug-in, for $50 or something. Fuck that. I'll spend the $50, whatever, to make sure that I have the official that gets updates, 180 hertz monitor, 100 hertz monitor. You can definitely see stuff a bit more clear on the 180 hertz monitor, that's for sure. Actually, hold on real quick. Let me check something. Yeah, it's set to 180 hertz. For a second, I was like, wait, what? All right. What's everybody's favorite guitar tuning? Like what? Not maybe not even your favorite. What's your go-to guitar tuning? Why does that sound like it's gonna be heavy, but then pop punk? All right. Oh yeah, by the way, I think that it worked. It sounded pretty cool. What if it goes to crash instead? I think instead of the hi-hats here, it should go to a crash. Yeah, there it is. Start with an acoustic Pam. Nice little $100 acoustic on Facebook Marketplace. Catch you next time. All right, Andrew, I'll catch you, man. Tell you what, we're about 2.5 hours in, and I am hungry. I got food downstairs. And your boy is hungry. I also need to work on a video today. That's why I started. Tomorrow is definitely going to be the day when we're rolling and rolling and rolling on the song. So that's, you know, definitely going to be the day where we're, you know, getting all the tracks down and then hopefully messing with bass. Then the next day is piecing all that together, and hopefully we call it a song. Thinking of like chorus, you know what I mean? Play Soul of a Robot by John 5. We're not doing any covers. Or taking any requests. We're actually trying to piece together a couple more little things right now. And then I'm going to hop off here because we are at getting close to 3 hours. So then come back tomorrow with a fresh head. And should be able to piece this all together, start recording, get the bass, then one more stream, polish it off, and yeah. Let me make sure I save this actually. How many people we got left? I don't know how many people we got left, but it is actually, it's almost 6 o'clock now. So if we have any other questions, let's listen back to what we have so far as the riffs, and then we have another idea that's down that way on the track. And so let's listen to this, and then I'm actually going to hop off here because it is almost 6, and I do want to get a YouTube short recorded tonight before, bed, whatever. Not bad riffs, that's for sure. Sounds pretty good. And then we had this. That will definitely be a great part of the song. All right, you guys. I think that we got a little less done than I wanted, but for the most part, we have main riff, second riff, and an ending portion. So really, all we need is like the hook portion, and yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for the turnout of this one because this one's gonna be pretty good. This one's gonna be pretty good. I can just tell once it's all like put together, this one's gonna be a freaking banger. I also want to incorporate more of those. You know. Anyways. Thank you guys for sticking around. If you're watching, and you are not yet, hit that subscribe button. Alright? Love you guys. I'll check you later. Peace. Expect a YouTube short. It is coming. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get it done today and then post it tomorrow. I'm not sure. So keep an eye out. Yeah, any questions? Discord is linked above. Go to the Patreon to check out the music that we have written on here. And